Joining us now is the one and only Bill Kristol, editor of the Weekly Standard and ABC News contributor. Hello, Bill.
Steve, how are you?
I know you've made analogies or have been weighing in on Twitter, both the World Series and the presidential race. You said neither one is over, although you could admire both the contestants in the World Series. But I want to focus on the neither one is over. Probably the last time we spoke, you probably would have thought that it was probably over, right?
Yes, and I think Hillary Clinton is more likely than not to defeat Donald Trump. But I'd say two things have happened. The polls closed a lot last week before the Comey announcement on Friday. People haven't, you may have, but others, I'd say, have not focused as much as they might have on that. I think a lot of that was Obamacare. That issue has always been so underestimated by Washington elites. And there were these, obviously, premium increases announced across the country, state by state. That's a real thing. That is Obama's legacy. Clinton's going to expand it along the same principles. Republicans are committed to repeal and replace. Trump probably doesn't know all the details of the replacement package, but Paul Ryan does. So you figure if you elect a Republican, you get a replacement and a repeal. And I think that was a real reminder to people of how bad big government liberal policies are, followed by the Comey announcement, which just reminds everyone of the Clinton, Clinton world, Hillary world, the whole insanity, and then Anthony Weiner is like popping up. It's like a bad novel.
Wait, you don't know what you just said, but I'm going to let it go. I don't know if you're allowed to say what you just said.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't mean it. Now that you say it,
you can't help it. No matter what you say with Anthony Weiner.
Anything you say, right? I mean, exactly. It's like, well, this is why it's like a bad novel, right? I mean,
it is. I mean, could you? I mean, my goodness. My first question was going to be to you, actually, before I saw the World Series analogy, was going to be, can you believe it's all come down to Anthony Weiner?
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you read these novels or go to a movie or something, and they're like two plot lines, and one is a major line, I guess they sometimes call it, and one is a minor one. And then often it's kind of artificial how at the end of the novel or mystery, this happens a lot, one of the things, they come together, right? There's like some amazing coincidence, and the literary critics would say, oh, it's not really realistic. If you had told me 3 months ago that the Hillary Clinton email server in, classified information investigation was going to intersect with and come together with the Anthony Weiner, Huma Abedin, world, and I mean, it really is astonishing. But who knows what Comey, found or thought he might find? And I do believe, I'm not really comfortable with this FBI, hey, it's going to take us months to look at all this. I mean, I do think they have an obligation to let the public know as soon as they can this week. Not the details of everything, but I mean, basically, has Comey changed his mind, is the way I would put it. Comey had a press conference, right, 4 months ago, July, in which he told us his judgment of what Hillary had done, extremely reckless, but also that it didn't reach the standards for indictment. He doesn't have to tell us this week that he's indicting her or anything like that. That would probably be inappropriate. He needs to do the legal stuff. But he should give us a sense of whether, we voters should depend on his previous statement, his judgment, or whether there's material in there that would fundamentally change it, I think.
Well, I mean, with all due respect, I mean, that's a kind of a fine line to walk. I mean, either he's going to say...
Well, but he's the one who put this thing out Friday.
But he said under oath that he would let the Congress know if there was reason to open it, and he was obligated to do so.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he could have waited until they took a look at it. I mean, he doesn't have to let them know on Friday as opposed to Monday or Tuesday. He could take a look at the emails. I think Comey is a serious guy. I've disagreed with him on some things. He's also been around Washington a long time. The idea that he kind of just put out this statement because he felt he had to or couldn't wait till Tuesday, or I'm a little dubious about that. I think he thought... I wonder if he doesn't think there's something pretty big here. And look, we don't know what Weiner's. Incidentally, they can say they haven't looked at the emails yet. They've had conversations with Weiner, right?
Right.
What if Weiner's told them stuff? Maybe they can't use that in a court of law. Maybe that's different, whatever. But I mean, still, they know stuff that we don't know.
Right.
I suspect.
And this could be. Go ahead. I'm sorry. About what?
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say that whether or not this is a classified email or new emails, or maybe it has something to do with they said another investigation, or I'm paraphrasing. Yes, reportedly, the FBI didn't say Weiner and Uma, but reportedly revolving around them. But it could be pertaining. The emails could be pertaining to the Clinton Foundation, or some nefarious, hey, right, we fooled them, didn't we? Or something like that. That would be indicting, if you will, as opposed to some top secret email that they haven't seen.
Right. So I think that's exactly right. The way I've been trying to think about it is, look, it could be just more classified emails, which would show more recklessness. Probably wouldn't change anyone's fundamental view unless it was super, super reckless. Two, it could be it could be that there are a lot of emails there that did not get turned over when they should have been to the State Department that clearly are work-related, that we're now seeing them in Huma's, inbox, and that would just compound the notion that when they erased those 30,000 emails, there were a lot they shouldn't have erased. Again, both of those things strike me as being kind of more of the same, and
right.
Not to excuse it, but I mean, not a big game changer. But the third category is the one, what if there's stuff in there that's just different? What if there's cover-up instructions in there?
Yep.
What if there are whole different issues, Clinton Foundation stuff? I mean, as you say, there's a ton of stuff. I don't know, it's unfair to speculate in a certain way, but I mean, we don't know, right? But she's so close. Abedin is so close to Clinton. This is not like Jake Sullivan. Jake Sullivan, who was in a lot of the earlier emails, he was a policy guy. There's a political guy, too, and obviously he was probably careless himself with classified material, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very different than Huma Abedin, who is her closest personal aide. So there could be stuff in there that's really damaging, or it could all just be the same old emails again. You know what I mean? She just never bothered to erase it. But that's why I kind of think Comey should give us some sense of what we're talking about.
But, Bill, what does it mean to you? What do you read from the fact that she won't speak her name? Today at a rally, she said emails of a staffer of mine. And, of course, Uma is nowhere to be seen or found. What does that say to you?
Well, that's interesting. That is interesting. I'll tell you something else. Chris Hume made this point to me in an email. He'll probably say it on TV tonight, so I can.
Who is this? Who is this?
Credit. Chris Hume.
Sure. Yeah, no, I didn't hear what you said.
Chris said, do this thought experiment. I hadn't really thought about this till I want to give Britt credit because it's really his idea. What if Hillary Clinton put out a statement on Friday that said, you know what? I have the high regard for FBI Director Comey. He says he has some. I was not aware of that. There might be these emails from my assistant on a separate computer that he has taken. I'm confident, as I've always been, that I've done nothing wrong beyond what I've already apologized to the server. And I wish the FBI Director well as he completes his investigation. I mean, what if she had said that? Why didn't she say that, come to think of it? It seems like a much smarter thing to say than to go on the offensive against an FBI director they were praising to the skies 4 months ago.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely right. But, I don't know. I wish I had the answer for you. You're right.
Either they just always go on the offensive, the Clintons, that part could be the answer, or they could be really, really, really worried about what's in there.
Yeah, I agree. Bill, great to see you, sir. Thank you so much as always, my friend.
Thanks, Steve.
Bill Kristol, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk more about the FBI and Hillary with Republican Congressman Blake Farenthold. He's next. Boy, and here's a guy who has talked to Comey while Comey was under oath before his committee, so don't go away.